try to log in. This is what it says when I try to log in. Don't let me log in, but I'm gonna show everything that happened. I'm just finding out. Just woke up. Just got the thing. Let me break it down from the beginning. Let me show you from the jump what happened. Let me show you from the jump what happened. I can't hit live. I can't log in. Well, I want to go live. I want to spark on YouTube, but I just okay. It's crazy. Yeah, this is like the moment I've been waiting for, and this is everything I'm waiting for. So okay.
Sneako's story has just taken a shocking new turn. After nearly 3 years in exile, he's officially back on YouTube, the very platform that once banned him at the height of his influence. His sudden return isn't just another influencer comeback. It's a full-blown shockwave through the online world, reopening old debates, reigniting old fan bases, and reminding everyone why his name once dominated headlines.
Even my second channel up? The channel has no content. Oh, the shorts are still up. But there's my second channel, my streaming channel. My streaming channel!
In 2020, Sneako's meteoric rise collided with a wall of controversy when he began sharing false information about COVID-19 and the 2020 US election, leading to his permanent suspension. Overnight, his presence vanished from mainstream YouTube, leaving his massive audience fractured and his reputation hanging in limbo. Many thought his career on the platform was finished for good. But now, against all odds, he's back, and the entire digital landscape is watching to see what happens next. He was everywhere, known for his sharp takes, social commentary, provocations, and the kind of polarizing content that kept viewers hooked. Sneako carved out a unique place for himself in a digital world that was already saturated with personalities. But at the height of his influence, he crossed lines YouTube could not ignore. He began sharing false information about COVID-19, questioning the legitimacy of the pandemic, spreading unverified claims, and casting doubt on the measures being taken globally. It didn't stop there. He also dove into the 2020 US election, amplifying election misinformation that was already fueling nationwide division. For a platform as large and closely scrutinized as YouTube, his actions were not just controversial, they were dangerous. And just like that, his empire vanished overnight. He was banned, his channels taken down, his audience scattered. It was one of the most high-profile removals of the year. The ban marked a turning point, not just for Sneako, but for YouTube itself. It was the era where platforms were being forced to draw hard lines about misinformation. COVID-19 and the US election were flashpoints for global disinformation campaigns, and YouTube had made it clear. Spread false claims, and you're out. Sneako was caught in that wave. One day he was on top. The next he was completely erased. His followers were stunned. His critics celebrated. His name became a kind of digital cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most popular creators weren't immune to platform rules when the stakes were high enough. But while many thought this would be the end of his story, Sneako didn't disappear. Instead, he migrated. He spent the next 3 years bouncing between alternative platforms, podcasts, interviews, and niche communities where he maintained a cult-like following. He doubled down on his defiance, portraying himself as someone silenced by big tech, using the ban as a badge of honor among those who distrusted mainstream narratives. During that time, he also became one of the most divisive figures online, either admired as a truth-teller or condemned as a reckless provocateur. His presence was like a shadow over YouTube, gone but never entirely forgotten. Fast forward to now, and his sudden reinstatement has set off a storm. After 3 years, YouTube has decided to let him back, signaling that his suspension period has ended. The moment the news broke, the online world lit up like wildfire. For some, it felt like a major cultural moment, the return of a figure who had once been one of the loudest voices on the platform. For others, it was a dangerous step backward, reigniting old wounds about platform responsibility and the spread of misinformation. His comeback video wasn't a soft reintroduction. It was Sneako in full force, acknowledging the ban, calling out YouTube, framing himself as a survivor of censorship, and reigniting his trademark firebrand style. It wasn't just a video, it was a declaration: I'm back, and I'm not holding back. Within hours, his face was all over Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit. Comment sections exploded. Some viewers welcomed him with open arms, treating his return like the return of a banned legend. Others were furious that the same person who once spread lies during one of the most sensitive periods in modern history was now being given a second chance. To fully grasp why this return is so explosive, you have to look at the timing. The digital landscape Sneako is returning to in 2025 is not the same as the one he left in 2020. 3 years on the internet is an eternity. Entire platforms have risen and fallen in that time. Algorithms have changed, cultural conversations have shifted, and entirely new stars have taken his place. The internet has evolved past him, but that's exactly what makes this comeback so fascinating. He's not just stepping back into his old space. He's stepping into a new arena where he has to fight to reclaim relevance. And yet, the raw energy of his reemergence has already shaken things up. Creators are reacting to him, debates are resurfacing, and news outlets are revisiting the story of his ban. It's as if a ghost from the past suddenly came back to life in the middle of a new digital era, and everyone is forced to confront him again. But this isn't just about Sneako. His return raises serious questions about YouTube itself. The platform was once firm about his removal. He wasn't shadow banned. He wasn't demonetized. He was completely taken off. For years, YouTube held that line. Now, in allowing him back, they are inevitably under scrutiny. Why now? What's changed? Is this a sign of evolving policies, or simply the end of his suspension term? Many believe this is YouTube testing the waters, seeing if Sneako can reintegrate without reigniting the kind of controversies that got him banned in the first place. But that's a risky gamble, because if there's one thing Sneako is known for, it's pushing boundaries. His critics argue that his return sends the wrong message, that spreading misinformation has no real consequences. His supporters, however, see this as a massive win for free speech online, a sign that YouTube is willing to give creators a second chance after serving their time. And Sneako himself is clearly aware of the stakes. In his comeback content, he presents himself almost like a warrior returning from exile. There's a palpable chip on his shoulder. He talks about how he never stopped creating, how he built communities elsewhere, how he stood his ground despite being deplatformed. It's a narrative that resonates deeply with his fans, who see his ban not as punishment for misinformation, but as an example of what happens when you speak against the mainstream. This framing gives his return an almost mythic energy, as if he's not just coming back as a YouTuber, but as a cultural figure re-entering a battlefield. And in many ways, that's exactly what this is, a digital battlefield between those who see him as a dangerous voice and those who see him as a censored truth teller. The next few months will determine everything. Sneako's comeback has the internet's full attention, but whether he can sustain it without repeating history is the real question. 3 years ago, he flew too close to the sun, and the platform burned his wings. Now, he's been given a second chance. If he pushes the same boundaries, it could end exactly the same way. Another ban, another fall. But if he's strategic, if he evolves his content while maintaining his signature edge, he could pull off one of the most dramatic and unlikely influencer resurrections in recent memory. It's not just about whether the audience still wants him. It's about whether YouTube will tolerate him. Sneako's return isn't just personal. It's cultural. It forces us to ask tough questions about deplatforming, free speech, responsibility, and redemption in the digital age. Can a creator who spread false information during a global crisis truly reintegrate into mainstream platforms? Should they? And if they can, what message does that send to every other banned figure waiting for their moment to return? The internet thrives on comebacks, but it also has a long memory. For now, Sneako stands at the center of that tension, a controversial figure reborn, surrounded by the same chaos he once helped ignite. And whether this chapter ends in redemption or another spectacular downfall, one thing is clear. His return has everyone watching, talking, and bracing for whatever comes next.